thank God for my parents, for making the sacrifices that they made and making the decisions that they made, man. I had the opportunity to be raised by or be raised around people from all walks of life that looked like every corner of this planet. And my parents, they were teaching me how to be a chameleon, and they're teaching you how to, mirror your customer and be able to blend in. And that kind of stuff is so important because, a beautiful thing is when you understand culture. A beautiful thing is when you understand someone else's culture. You know what I mean? And that it's gorgeous. It shows you that there's way more than just what you see. There's way more there's way more people out here than just you and how you think and how you do things. And it's really where I think I got a lot of empathy from, where it's you got to learn how to hey, they do it a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I kind of get it on both sides, man. I get it from the blue side, the police. I get it from the black side. I get it from everybody.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's hard.
But it is.
No,
it's
I
part of
appreciate
it.
you understanding it.
Yeah, it's part of it.
And being vulnerable and willing to speak on it. Because I think there's a lot of things that get mystified and people assume that, just because you've reached a certain level of success or stature or just being recognizable, that, you're kind of immune to certain things, that you don't feel certain pain.
Yeah. No, I still feel it. It's just that I have a better understanding of where it's coming from, and once you take a second and you understand where the other person is coming from, you can see where that pain is. You can see where everything they said about you is really a reflection of themselves. It takes a little bit of maturity. That's why I suggest that you make sure you're on God's plan. You put yourself out here like this, you better have some kind of protection. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm human like everybody else. That stuff is it's rough sometimes. But at the same time, I don't get a lot of hate either. I don't get a lot of hate. I have gotten hate a decent amount in the past. The first 2-3 years, I got it. I got it from every side. Now, not so much.
Yeah.
I'm glad. But it's a part of it.
All right. Now, I'm going to ask, I feel like I have a feeling you actually know the person I'm about to reference, that I'm wondering if you watched him at all coming up, Colion Noir. Did you ever watch Colion videos before you got into guns?
A little bit, but very rare. So me coming up into firearms was very, very different than most people. So I came up with firearms from law enforcement and from being an armed professional. So I didn't even know that people like Colion Noir existed, not until like I was out of law enforcement and had been in the industry and then went, oh my God, there's a black dude with this kind of following. This is legit, but I didn't know him up until I didn't know him until I was already, or know of him, I should say, until I was already in the industry.
Yeah. So I know a lot of the guys who are at your level actually have a personal relationship with him. So I don't want you to put yourself in a weird position by answering this. But
no, you good.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see, because a lot of people have looked at him, and me and KD have talked about this as well, looked at KD and have accused them of being a coon or this or that because of one thing or another. And I don't know that I've seen the same thing from you. Of course, maybe that came and went, but I'm curious to see what you have done to kind of help yourself to be, I guess, more widely accepted by at least my community, which is the Black 2A community, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And the circles that I run in. No one's ever looked at you sideways or said anything halfway negative about you, which unfortunately with guys like Colion, as famous as he is and as beloved as he is in the Black community, there are still pockets who look at him sideways and have nothing but mean things to say, even though he's done a lot for us. And I'm very grateful for the hard work that he put in making dope content.
Yeah. And doing and what's so funny is that like a lot of, although I didn't know who Colion Noir was before I got into the industry, a lot of what we've done are
Mm-hmm.
able to do was paved because of him. You know,
Mm.
a lot of our content is inspired from what he does. You know, so it's I have gotten that Coon comments. It's usually when I'm, you know, disagreeing with somebody. I've been called house nigga, the Uncle Tom. Um, it hurts me more when I'm called something like a coon or a house nigga over somebody calling me a nigga. You know, a white dude calling me a nigga, and all of it stings. But you know, it really stings when I'm called the coon and stuff like that, where it's like, man. And you know what? Like I used to say a lot of other things, and not the typical, you know, UMF, you know, responding with anger. I used to say a lot of things, you know, like, man, I can't believe this is coming from another brother of color, you know, all these different things. But we're all just human beings, man. That's just how
Yeah.
much pigment that God gave us, bro. We didn't make that choice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, then I have to go back to, you know, I can't expect everybody to be like me, you know, and that's something I
Right.
had to work out in therapy. You know what I mean? Like, bro, like I that the reason why I'm writing a book is because I want people to learn from my life, you know, and see all the struggle that I had to go through, right? So they can go,
Yeah.
hell, I ain't the only one. Hell, he can
Yeah.
do it. I can
No.
do it because I suck at that
Yeah.
stuff. You know, if I
Hey,
can get
man.
through it, you can too. You know, like literally, that stuff used to sting. Like you thinking about what you finna do to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Oof. No.
Man,
I feel
boy.
that entirely.
Some
Yeah.
people, and see, here's the thing, and this is what I really want people. This is a public service announcement. You gotta watch what you say online because some my friends that are goons will come and find you. You got what I'm saying? Like we ain't playing. And you ain't even got to be no secret spy agent, dude. Google's your friend, homie. Some of
Yeah.
these folks need to chill. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and to be honest with you, you know, I had to get not really over that. I just had to come to grips and I had to understand where it was coming from because it was distracting the hell out of me, you know? And
Yeah.
if
Rent,
I'm being
like living in your
distracted,
head.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Living in your
man.
head rent free.
Yeah, but hell, it's distracting me from what I'm here for. We're
Yeah.
supposed to be spreading the good word so that more people stay alive. You know, like I ain't dealing with you, man. And I just had to pray about that literally. And now it still stings nowhere near as much. You understand, hey, maybe that person's having a bad day. And sometimes I even respond with that. Hey man, you know, you good, you know, you having a bad day. You know, I've been here before too, you know.
Hmm. That's very empathetic. And speaking of empathy, I first of all definitely appreciate you just kind of breaking down and being real about that because it would be easy. It would be really easy just to be like, I don't think about it and then move on. But
Yeah.
truthfully, everybody feels it.
It
Everybody feels
sucks,
it.
man. It sucks. It hurts,
And
man. KD
yeah,
goes through it. Colion goes through it. Everybody, man.
yeah. And I wonder with this empathy that you've discovered with people. I actually saw a recent video of you guys. You were out there working and doing some training, and there was an older white lady that. Well, actually, I don't know how old she was, but she wasn't as mobile as she could be. I get
Mm.
that. I've had knee surgery twice in my life. I'm
Mm-hmm.
never going to be the same.
That's right.
But she was unable to transition into different shooting stances
Mm-hmm.
as well as maybe the next guy. And
Mm-hmm.
the way you handled her, maybe you could tell the story a little bit better. Kind
Mm.
of paint the picture for us, and we can take us through what happened, your thought processes you were going through.
Well, so we're at the train and learn event with Kevin Dixie, No Other Choice. Amazing event. You ain't
Shout
never
out.
heard of it? You better go check it out. It is legit. But anyway, we're at the event. I'm teaching rifle. My sweetheart, she is there. We're doing rifle stuff. And like what you just described, we've all had our issues, ailments, you know, throughout life. And she had some reduced mobility in several different ways. And I've been in those classes, you know, where that person is kind of skimped over. I've been in those classes where The instructor is hoping that that student is going to be like, no, I'm okay with this drill. I'll just sit it out because they don't want to deal with it. But I know what, if we can find a way for that student to get through the drill, I know what it can do for their confidence. So we always go above and beyond. And that's what we did. We did everything that we had to do to accommodate her. And once she was able to get in that shooting position and she was able to do what everybody else was doing, and no one will know unless she tells you, but in her mind, maybe this was something that she said, I'll never be able to do. And think about it. The context is we're talking about different shooting positions that can be used to protect yourself in and around your car. And if you're somebody who owns or drives a car on a daily basis, that's pretty important, as it is to her, as it was to her. And to be able to see somebody overcome their fears, overcome their fear of being in front of 15 or 20 other people, their peers. Most of them don't look like her. She was a white lady. The majority of people out there are Black. Overcoming that fear in and of itself, overcoming the inner fear of, can I do this? So being able to be there and take that away from her, and that's what we're doing. That's what we should be doing as top tier instructors. We're looking for that, and we're taking that away from our student so that they can just actually enjoy it, so they can actually learn it, so they can overcome that fear. You know, our courses are more than just shooting classes. They're personal development classes. It's just amazing to be able to see that on a daily basis. That's why we do it. That's why, like, to see her tear up after, hell, I almost teared up. You know what I mean? Like, now she can do it. Now she knows I can do this, you know? Before that, she probably told herself she couldn't. You know, like, man, like, if that don't give you the warm and fuzzy, I don't know what does. But that's what we're here to do. And don't think that you got to be an instructor, or don't think you got to have whatever title in order to do that. Go out of your way to find opportunities to do that for people, man. Like, do it within your profession. All of us are subject matter experts in our given field. Do that. Do it, man. Dude, man, that's what wakes me up every day. Dude, it's great, man. You know, that was, I'm so glad you brought that up. I remember when Jay released that video, I didn't even know it had been recorded. And I was just, or I forgot, and was just like, man. And a part of me was like, I don't want to put it out. It seems kind of cheesy. You know what I mean? Like,
Just self-indulgent.
Right. But when it hit, it needed to be released. And if you ain't seen it, go check it out, man. It's just so beautiful. But it goes back to what we were talking about, man. Let's put up some of the ego. Let's just be human, share a little love, share a little compassion. Because what's so awesome is that we all feel the same way. You just need that one person to break the ice and say, man, I'm so tired of being so rough and tough. You can still shoot somebody. It's cool. You can still defend yourself. You can still be a badass. And
right.
Like, you can still be, as a matter of fact, I think it's kind of a little more awesome. Now you got some real swag, like James Bond. James Bond was the man because he could mess your ass up, but he was clean. You know, like, that boy had a move to him. You know what I mean? Like Denzel Washington, same, equalizer, mess you up. Be that guy. You know? It's more fun.
I think those are the heroes in, like, movies and stories that we can I feel like relate to the most, or aspire to be, if we can't necessarily relate. Is that guy who, you know, he's a retired ex-special forces, X, Y, and Z. The baddest man in the room, technically. But you would never know it.
That's right.
Because he's just so kind. He's such a great dad.
Shaking hands, and then when babies, you know?
And when something bad happens to the people, you know, he knows how to turn up on you. Like,
that's right.
Don't get in his way.
You know, that's what the hashtag Be the Switch means. We came out with that hashtag in the very beginning. To be honest with you, it might be our very first hashtag we ever came out with as a company. And that's what it stands for. Be the Switch means when you're turned off, everyday guy, you're the most dangerous guy in the room. Nobody knows it, because you're
Yeah.
enjoying your life. You're still situationally aware. You still know what's going on around you, but you're enjoying your life. You're
Mm-hmm.
dancing, shaking hands, kissing, baby. You're living in the moment. But the moment somebody around you is threatening the lives of people around you, great bodily harm or death, it's business time. You flip that switch, and it's a violence of action that no one has ever seen. And it has
Yeah.
to be that way because it has to be taken care of quickly. So it's
Yeah.
that's what it means. And then you go right back
Oh yeah.
to being that person, and that's what's required. And I remember having this discussion with a preacher. He says, "Man, like I really just don't feel that it's required that we become a completely different person in order to protect ourselves and things like that." And I said, "Well, here's what I disagree with, or here's where I disagree. When we were designed to love one another. We were designed for self-perseverance, or excuse me,
Mm.
self-preservation. We were designed
Preservation.
to stay alive, not to take life. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, you have to be a slightly different individual to pull out a firearm and use it to defend yourself, because
Yeah.
it's a good chance you might take that person's life. Yes, you have to
Yeah.
be a little slightly different, So yeah, you got to be the switch, and you do it
Yeah.
unapologetically, But you
Yeah.
have to be, in order to move with the kind of confidence that you want to move with and that you're trying to move with. You got to put in that work. You got to put in the
Mm.
right work, here first and then here second. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Seriously, sorry. I guess something I got my.
Nah, it's cool. If you want to take a second to get it out, that's all right.
I'm good,
But
brother.
excellent, excellent. Well, I'm interested in, first of all, dope point. I think you're onto something, and I wish that hashtag was used a little bit more in our community, just because it is the embodiment of what all of us should be. I mean, yeah, on the range we
Yeah,
could dress up and do the tactical thing, but
that's right.
like when we're walking around in real life, like how many Grunt Style shirts do we own?
Oh
Like
yeah,
at the end of the day,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
we could put all that away. Be the unassuming guy.
yeah.
I'm not saying don't hit the gym 5-6 days a week, but
That's
I'm
right.
saying just be lovable.
That's right. Be
Be the person that
approachable.
yeah. Be that person that when people need you for anything less than bodily harm, they can depend on you.
That's right. They can come to you to be there with the gun, but
Right.
the other 99% of the time when they
Right.
need you, you need to be approachable.
Yeah. I mean,
Especially when it comes to people who have never owned a firearm before. Especially when it comes to the person who never owned a firearm and just the day before was against guns. How many millions of people did that last year? So we don't need to be responding to them with, ha ha, I told you so. You need to be
right.
responding with open arms, like, hey, welcome. Now let me show you how to do this. You know what I mean? So
Right.
to build your comfort and confidence so you can actually do what you're setting out to do. And that's
Yeah.
protect. Like at the end of the day, all of us want the exact same things. We all want to be safe and we all want to protect if we can, anti-gun or not, you know?
Oh, no, you're right. Anti-gun or not, because at the end of the day, if you really look at the numbers, how many of us actually will ever have to use a firearm?
You're
And
right.
it's a very small number.
That's
But a lot
correct.
of us will live our lives, or at least multiple years of our lives, in this weird mode, trying to adapt into like firearms culture,
Yeah.
when the firearms culture should be, I think, synonymous with everyday culture in a
It
sense.
absolutely should. It
Yeah.
absolutely. The culture should look like everybody of every profession, everything,
Hmm.
everything. Everyone in this
Yeah.
country should own a firearm. Period.
Yeah. Period.
Period.
And I agree. And
And but
yeah.
that's why we're doing what we're doing. That's why the vlogs are happening the way that they are. All of our content is happening. It's raw. It's just
Yeah.
us. It's not standing behind the table and talking about a gun. And that stuff is cool and it's educational. But yeah, I just want to be me. I'd rather you just join me throughout my day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and, and
Right.
and and you get that education, but then it's entertaining, and then maybe it could be inspiring, maybe it could be, I watch vlogs on YouTube. I have like 4 or 5 different individuals that I watch. Most of it's car stuff. And I love watching it, you know, and I watch it for so many different reasons, and a lot of them have nothing to do, you know, with the main reason for the channel, you know. So
Yeah, I think that's interesting, especially when you consider things like Instagram stories are actually just vlogs. You know,
right,
if you actually turn
yeah,
the camera
yeah,
on,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and yeah, I think everybody has become has gotten into an opportunity to have their own vlog and tell their story the way they want to have it told. But I do think it's interesting that you have chosen that style and medium to really introduce people into a whole new side of society. And it shouldn't be a new side, but it is
Yeah,
a new world that they've never experienced before. So I appreciate that. But
yeah.
I do want to ask you a little bit about the book. Have you guys got the title out? Are you still working on that yet?
No, no. All I'm doing is taking notes.
There you go.
I'm just
There you
taking
go.
notes, man. I had to, or I'll forget it.
Still taking notes. Okay. Well,
Hmm.
that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm excited. Only question I have on that is, are you going to do an audiobook? Because I
Oh,
love
absolutely.
audiobooks.
Yeah, that's the only way I listen or read them. I'm not
Right.
reading. I do a lot of
Right.
driving, so I'll listen.
Right. Same thing. I'm like podcast, audiobooks, some music, you know,
Yep,
like just that's what I do, bro.
all day.
So and can we talk a little bit about
Hmm.
gas and gunpowder?
Yeah, just a little bit. Well, no, I'll take that back because we ain't. Nah, not yet.
Not yet.
But
Okay.
not
Stay
yet.
tuned.
But that's cool because we can. We'll come back on and talk about that. That'd be real good to
Okay.
talk about.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
part
that's
two
gonna be
coming
a
soon then.
whole. That's gonna be a whole nother thing. Mm.
Okay.
It's gonna be good. Ooh, I can't wait.
Okay. So basically we got an exclusive. There's something coming out. You're
Yeah.
working on something and
This is
it's
the
gonna be
first
dope.
anything I've talked about it on too. Gas and gunpowder is
Ooh.
nasty. Just think
Okay.
about the title, gas and gunpowder. That's what makes this country go round. Hey
You're
baby,
right.
we finna do it.
Okay, okay. Well, definitely when you start to get more details, come
Oh,
back
for
on. We'll do a quick
sure.
special. We'll just put a little quick one out, let people know what you're doing.
That's
I'm
right.
excited.
That's right. Thank
So
you.
we do, before we go, we do need to do two things. A Q&A, but before that, we got to talk about Smith& Wesson. I'm not necessarily a Smith& Wesson guy,
Yeah.
but they're putting out some dope products. You are
Yep.
actually affiliated with them
That's right.
in some way. How what is that? What is that title? What does that look
So
like?
so I'm a brand ambassador. So it's like being a spokesperson for Smith and Wesson. So you know, and to be honest with you, when I say this, like every time I say it, it's like it's so dope. So
That's
Julie
crazy.
Gollop, yeah, I know, right? So Julie Gollop, Jerry Michelet, everybody knows who they are. They've been the face of Smith and Wesson for a very, very long time. Well, your boy is the third face now. So
There you go.
man, it's real cool. It's so beyond cool that that's really all I can say. But
Bro, and in some ways it's historical, huh?
I think so. I think that if I'm not the first African American to be signed to like a major company like that, probably the second. You know, maybe behind Colion. I'm not sure, but that's I'm more than proud of that, and
Yeah.
I'm proud of it because I represent us. Number one,
Yeah.
and that wasn't always something that was that I cared a whole lot about, you know. But
Yeah.
I care everything about that now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I represent us, right? And Smith and Wesson actually makes dope guns. Like I
Yeah.
say it all the time, especially people within the inner circle. Like when you ride in the car, it's just you and like your closest folks in the car or on the phone. And you're like, man, I'm glad I like Smith and Wesson. Seriously, where it's like, what better opportunity or better situation than you're signed to the company who you thought was dope anyway? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
but that's how God works. Straight
Yeah.
up.
I mean, it
That's how
could be
it
a
works, man.
terrible company, right? You could be stuck in this weird lane or it's like, bro, I don't even like this stuff, but you know, they're
Yep.
paying bills.
You know how many
But
people do
no,
that? Lots.
I was going to say everybody, but that's not technically true. You know,
No,
I
it's
guess
not.
there's,
No. And you know, to be honest with you, a lot of the influencers, you know, we get a bad rep
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want them to hold us accountable the way that they're doing. Look, do it, because these people, it's just like when people sign up to come and take our classes. You're entrusting your life to me. Your family is entrusting your life to us, and what you're entrusting is that we're going to show you and teach you and give you the information that you need to protect yourself and your family. Same thing happens when you're purchasing product based off of a video that I made. Yeah. I've had it where people are in front of me and they ask me a question about a particular product. As I'm answering the question, they're already ordering it because I'm giving them positive feedback. So
what?
I hold that
that's
real
a
close
big
to the
responsibility.
Heart. Damn right.
No, I was listening to one of my favorite tech podcasts, and he was like, yeah, I have people who watch my videos from like 5 years ago or a couple of years back. And I see a comment, hey, just watched the video, went ahead and bought it. And he's like, what? I mean, tech moves fast. And he's like, I wouldn't buy that today. Maybe back then I would have, but not today. And he's very genuine, sincere, and honest about the stuff. So
that's right.
The power of your word.
That's right.
The power of your yes and your say so.
That's right.
Is intense, especially when you have kind of ascended to a level where people respect what you have to say.
That's
people
right.
Admire you as a person. People look
That's
up to
right.
you. People see you as somebody to.
So I'm gonna tell you what we do now is, we charge these companies now. We charge. You want us to look at your stuff? You're gonna pay money. And the reason why it's going to weed out all the garbage. It weeds out 90% of them because you're not finna pay what I'm going to charge you if it's garbage, and we're going to do it that way because I'm going to make sure that what we're talking about is good stuff. And it actually, so here's the thing though. If it's something that's designed for people to just use for around the house, recreational stuff, I'm still going to talk about it because that's the problem that people are like, well, if it's not intended for tier 1, why are we talking about it? Well, not everybody can afford tier 1. Okay.
Woo! Say it again, sir.
Not everybody can, most people can't afford it. We just choose to kind of afford it, after you put, your power bill on a payment plan or something like that. We've all been there. We all missed a cell phone bill. You ain't the only one. However, not everybody can afford it, and not everybody cares about that product that the military is using. They just want a flashlight on their gun or a flashlight that works when they turn it on. It doesn't have to work for 50,000 rounds because most people aren't going to shoot more than 500 in their lifetime. So, come on.
But you're saying something that I think you're hurting a lot of people's feelings at this point. I'm here for it.
Hey, man.
And I think it's important.
Look, it's the truth.
Not everybody's wealthy like that to be able to put $1,000 into a single flashlight.
Hell no.
Oh, that one, you got to get that one. It also does the IR. And it's like, well, you will never need that, sir.
Yep.
No, the $200 flashlight works. And there's maybe one that's even cheaper, but maybe don't get that one. I don't know.
So here's my job. My job is to tell you all the things about it so that you can make an educated decision. That's it. It's not my job to sit here and try to discern what your income is, or what you can afford and why you should be getting. Man, get out of here. Look, your pockets better than I do. I'm still trying to mess around my own pockets. Well, I'm going to look at yours for, I'm just here to tell you about the flashlight. I'm just here to tell you about fill in the blank. You know what I'm saying? Now, we do not talk about anything that I wouldn't put on my own gun or carry or use or anything like that. But I think you're doing a disservice to the community when you're only showing or talking about certain things because it's the top tier. There are many levels of everything that we purchase on a daily basis. So I don't want to hear it. And this be the same person or dude who buys the store brand at the grocery store. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, man.
You're spitting truth. Because a guy who swears by EOTech but still eats, and I love ramen. I know it's not good for me.
Damn right.
But,
I like it every now and then.
Like Well, you bought the 99-cent pack versus
That's right.
you went out to the cuisine joint and actually sat down and had it prepared in front of you.
That's right.
But yeah, you bought the EOTech.
Yep.
What? Maybe the Holosun might work. Maybe
That's
the
right.
Vortex might work.
That's right.
It just depends.
So my thing is that here's the truth. The truth is that 90% of the market aren't armed professionals. 90% of the market aren't putting a bulletproof vest on and putting a gun on to make $12 an hour. They're not. Okay. You know what they're doing? They sit behind the desk with their appendix carry, Gucci Glock, Gucci M&P, with all the business. You know, they washing cars with all the business. You know what they use their flashlight for? When their keys fall between the seat. So let's just be real about this, y'all. Let's just be real about it. Take it from somebody who actually did it for a living every day. You know, like, God almighty, like, look, I spend, and that's why when you look at our, when I used to own every Staccato, right? From XC down, because I wanted to figure out what it was all about. Good gun.
Yeah.
And I had Holosun red dots on it. And somebody was like, man, I can't stand when I see somebody with a $4,500 pistol with a damn Holosun on it. I said, man, I get it. He said, how come you won't put no Trijicon RMR? You know, it's bullshit. Started going down the rabbit hole, whatever. I said, look here. How about you send me one? And when I get here, I'm going to open it up and I'm going to put it in the drawer with the other 10 RMRs. I don't give a shit about none of that stuff. I've had that stuff. We've been using that crap forever. Now I'm going to try Holosun to see how it works. It's been working.
Right.
And it's cheaper.
Right.
And it's got more features.
But it's Chinese.
That's right. And guess what? The China people make most of the crap you got on, look at, touched. They real good at making shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's the truth.
No, it's true.
That is the truth. I know it doesn't sound like America, but you don't want to pay America prices.
No, you don't. Y'all don't even want to pay for training.
Damn right. Yeah, you don't even want to pay for this training. That's going to get you way further than that flashlight.
But that's the thing, bro. And I hang around a lot of instructors, bro. And maybe it's rubbing off on me, but it's like y'all will pay $800 for this or that, an optic, when you could have paid half and invested the other half into a gun. Or better yet, training so you could run the gun you have.
That's right.
What?
Software over hardware. That's all. They really had a hardware. But let me back on up, because we're going to keep it 100 here. I used to do the same thing. Same thing. So I can't sit here and talk crap and not put myself in it. And that's what I'm talking about. That's how we lead from the front. Everybody want to just talk crap. Put yourself in that mix, homie. I did it too. I still do every now and then. I want all the Gucci out.
I think that's where the credibility comes in, though. When you got your Gucci dot M&P, with the enhanced slide and the Gucci dot trigger and the X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
a light that costs more than a tank of gas.
That's right. But then, but here's where you're the most dangerous man in the room. And you don't look it. Have your Gucci guns, but you need to be able to pick up any stock gun and run it just as good. And people used to call me out. How I came to that realization is somebody called me out. And I went, dang, this gun is just all Gucci, everything. You know what I mean? So I got to work. But now I still got my Gucci, but when somebody says something, I say, well, what gun you got? I've got fill in the blank. Well, can I use it? And then I'll shoot the hell out of it too. And guess what? Sometimes I mess up. But hey, I'm going to still do it. You still run the gun.
Right. I mean, to me, I've seen a lot of guys with the super, just amazing high-end $4,500 guns, or, maybe a stock gun that was Gucci'd out to the point where it costs like $2,000-$3,000 at this point. And it's like, man, wow, I shoot so flat and the grouping is like this tight.
That's right.
Bro, what do you, okay.
That's right. Yeah.
But then you see them pick up another gun, or you see another guy, an instructor or something like that, pick up a stock Glock 17 and do the same group.
That's right.
And pull up the shot timer and beat you.
Yay. That's when you
And
drop
it's
the
like,
mic.
okay.
You just drop the mic and walk off and act like you're getting a drink of water.
Take the shot timer and just boom.
Yeah. I'm thirsty.
Let's go. Man.
I like your show.
Man.
Your show is good.
Hey, man, we're just getting comfortable, bro. We're just getting going. I appreciate you, bro. Man, I definitely appreciate you coming on, man. Let's go ahead and tell people where they can find you. Then we'll just hit the Q&A. Then we'll call it a day. It's
All
been
right.
a while.
You guys can find me online, provectusgroup.org. That's the best place to find me. You know, social media hates anything gun-oriented. When you're on there about 10 seconds, a little pop-up's going to come up, and it's going to ask you to join the team. We want you to submit your email because that's the best way to keep in contact with us for real. Second to that, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook at Provectus Group. All of the crazy, nasty, stupid stuff happens there. So go and check us out. And thank you guys just for taking a little bit of time and lending your ear and listen to us talk about dumb stuff.
There you go. Well, all those links are going to be down in the bio. So if you didn't remember one of those things, let's just go ahead and click the links while you're there. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
That's right.
While you're there, once you look at that and come back, there's going to be other little links you can click for like the sponsors of the video X, Y, and Z.
Awesome.
But of course, as you're shopping with my patronage, go ahead, support the guests. Make sure that they feel the love. Make sure that they know that you support them too. Go buy an M&P if you want to.
Yeah, but only if you like it.
Right. God forbid you get something you don't like.
Don't just buy them because I said so.
Right. Don't buy it because you like us. Right.
Don't buy it because it's dope.